There was a really good op-ed written by Midnight's Edge, a wonderful channel. I love the Midnight's Edge guys. If you don't watch them and subscribe to them, and this one's from Andre, who's I love Andre too. He's from Midnight's Edge, great guy, no homo. And he wrote this really, really damning expose on just how Marvel is really killing any sort of female-led action genre just because of how cringy they've made their product and how cringy and fake they've made their female characters. They've stripped away these characters of all their feminism, and they turn them into, we always call them like dudes with tits is what we've kind of historically called them in these sort of deals. And it seems like a lot of these people just don't know how to write women whatsoever because they're bad writers, what it comes down to. And so this is an interesting little piece that they talked about, and we're going to get into this in just a moment. We just had Ballerina come out this weekend at $25 million. And Ballerina is an interesting character from the John Wick series, and I have not seen it yet, so don't spoil it for me or anything like that. I know she's going to kill everybody, and John Wick's going to help her kill everybody. Pretty obvious. But there's not a lot to these, but there is a lot of fun action and a lot of fun with this series that is interesting. And from what I've just heard from people around, she's really good at the action. She's done a really good job. She maintains her femininity throughout the entire thing, and it's a lot of fun. And so how do you balance that in a movie, and how do you balance that? I try to do that in my works in books. I've got a lot of books with female lead characters. I've got a lot of books with male lead characters. I've got both because there's room for both, and there's 50% of the people, 50% of the people. Makes a lot of sense. And so I've written this into my comics and the like, and I think I do a really good job at maintaining the female character's femininity throughout these entire things. I try when doing this not to have the women able to overpower men. It's a very important thing I think that you need to show, because I think it's dangerous to show women doing that too much. So if they're physically overpowering somebody without like the help of a gadget or a male friend or like a gun or something like that, it just doesn't work in reality for the most part. And so that's what you have to kind of do. And you have to also note that these are emotional creatures. And so you have to convey that in your writing as well. And so I do this very, very well. And if you like that ideal, and if you like good comic books, if you like good novels, I'm writing this in science fiction, fantasy, and comics. This is my newsletter. Please sign up in the description below. You get 3 free books for doing so. Really appreciate everybody who does. And I think you'll really enjoy stuff. Our Ayla Rin Overmind is a really, really best-selling kind of female action spy science fiction series. And, people have enjoyed it all the way around. And I have a group of followers here who are against feminism, who's against the Marvel movies and the like. And so we did it and accomplished it when these people couldn't. It shows what competent writing does. So check this out. It's in the description below. Thank you guys so much for getting in on here. And hit the like and subscribe button as we talk about this very important deal. So Andre, who owns Midnight's Edge, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name. I just call him Andre, made a claim following the box office failure of John Wick's spinoff Ballerina at the box office that it only grossed $25 million domestically, another $26 million internationally, and was projected to gross close to double that, which is a big bummer. It had its expectations lowered, and of course, it performed even worse than that, because nobody wants to go see a female-led action movie at this point, and it's really, really tough. And that is really, really sad. So following its poor performance at the box office, he stated the MCU is so disliked, in fact, that it may have contributed towards killing female-led action movies for the next decade. And it is, because it's just overwhelmed everything. And with all of those movies being the big box office blockbusters year in and year out, and you have to sit there through Marvel, then you have to sit there through Ms. Marvel, then you have to sit there through The Marvels, then you have to sit there through this lousy Black Widow movie, and now she's in charge of the Thunderbolts, but the Thunderbolts is actually the Avengers, so now we've got the Avengers with this fake Black Widow we don't like, and we've got this new the other Avengers led by Captain Marvel. Oh, slay queen. And nobody wants to watch it. It's been terrible. And it's absolutely true. This is spot on right here. He said that the reason most comic book superhero films are failing at the box office in recent years is due to having female leads that are forced ideologically driven by diversity. He claims these are recurring themes. All of the other MCU movies that have flopped these last few years, and the upcoming ones that were canceled because they were Kevin Feige productions, through and through, complete with girl bosses and bait and switches, he said. So later in the video, he notes, if you've not watched this is it, Midnight's Edge, my friends, that he pushed DEI and feminist agenda, Kevin Feige that is, into the MCU, once Kevin Feige conspired with Bob Iger to oust Pearl Muter, oh my gosh, and remove any semblance of checks and balances, that's when the MCU went down the drain. A drain that was very forcefully diverse and even more female-centric, I might add. Because it turns out that Kevin Feige valued DEI above compelling characters and storytelling. Compelling characters and storytelling sadly went out the window with the Marvel Creative Committee, which has wisely been created by one of Ike Perlmutter, where he declared, Feige has backfired tremendously, damaging not just the MCU, but female-led action movies beyond that. This is not the fault of the MCU alone, of course, but I submit that it's one of the main instigating causes behind the audience now consistently rejecting and recoiling from all female-centric girl boss movies. So, to back up its claim, a surefire indicator of this is none of the major distributors wanted anything to do with Red Sonja. No proper distributor with any kind of international network wants to touch another movie about a woman who kicks ass, as the audience has rejected them, and they have far too many of them already. Pretty interesting stuff and pretty good analysis right there. But like I said, it still can be done. And, what's interesting is you look at it, like I said, I've got a lot of male-led books. I've got a lot of female-led books. But honestly, my female-led books are outselling my male-led books by a large margin. And it's pretty interesting that that's the case. Again, we have an audience over here that's very, very sensitive to feminism, very, very sensitive to girl bosses, that really loathes what Marvel and DC has done and what the movies have done as well. And so when you look at that, what is the difference here? And it's obvious that the compelling characters that we create do make it for the fact that people will even overcome those inherent dislike of that genre when it is done right. And so this is the thing that can happen here. You have, like I said, it would make sense to have movies have a 50% female lead, 50% male lead, just demographically, that makes sense. Women want to go see women's movies, though. If you have a female lead, she's going to mostly be in a movie, and it should be an 80-20 rule as a business. I'm a business guy, where 80% of those are movies geared towards women and just are more of the romance or drama sort of variety on that level. Maybe 20% of them could be action movies. And if that balance was struck, right, you would have a healthy environment where something like Ballerina might succeed a lot more because of that, because it would be there'd be enough demand for that supply and demand, right? On the flip side, you should have 50% of these be male-led movies, and of course, action and sort of superhero and science fiction and fantasy movies should be 80% of those male-driven movies. And if you did that, those films would be doing better as well, because that's what people want in those genres as well. It's not rocket science. It's just obvious. And so if they did that, they would be in a much healthier state. But they've been trying to do these diversity quotas to not do an 80-20 rule like that for business. They've been trying to force it so that they really just want men out of any sort of masculine sort of situation. You look at Doctor Who right now. They've destroyed the character. They've emasculated the character to such a degree that it's just awful and it's impossible to watch. And it ruins everything going forward because you don't want to do anything with the brand. That's what they did with Luke Skywalker in the Star Wars, same company, films as well. They emasculated him, if you remember exactly. Rey was just better than him and all that. All the male characters in all of these films now, also in the Marvel movies, just get emasculated as well. It's a pattern, and because when you see that, you just drive the men out of what should be men's properties that men want to watch because they're trying to chase the wrong demographic for the wrong thing. It seems obvious, right? I don't know. Will they get the memo? We'll see. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. I am going to go see Ballerina. I think it looks kind of fun, personally. I'm really sad that this is done so low. And John Wick does have a big role in it, from what I understand. So that's pretty cool for John Wick fans, of course. I love the John Wick films, and I hope you do too. Check it out, guys. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Let me know what you think about this analysis from Midnight's Edge. Go follow those guys, too. They're amazing. And please check out my newsletter in the description below for more content like this. And, of course, all my great books and stuff coming out. We have a ton going forward, and I really hope you'll be here because I've got the best yet to come. Sci-fi, fantasy, and comic books, guys, all for you. Thank you so much for supporting. We'll be back.